We'll call to order the City of Douglasville City Council regular meeting for today, which is Monday, June 19th. And our invocation will be done by our own Aaron Sarowitz. After that, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, will be led by the Mayor Pro Tem, Councilman Mayor Pro Tem Lariaki. Please stand for the invocation. Thank you, Aaron.
Good evening. Let's pray. Dear Lord, we come humbly before you today with thanksgiving of all your blessings. We know that it's only through you that authority is rightly administered, laws are enacted, and judgment is decreed. Assist with your spirit the mayor and council of the city of Douglasville. May they and other leaders always seek the ways of righteousness. Grant that they may be enabled by your protection to lead Douglasville on the path to prosperity with the wisdom, honesty, and integrity of which you have blessed unto them. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem, and to Aaron, we really appreciate that. Really paying attention more to the flag. We had Flag Day last week, and it was great to hear about the history and our great American flag that we pledged to. I'll go through the announcements, and then we'll open with the agenda. So the announcements are, I'd like to welcome you to the City of Douglasville's legislative work session. This work session where agenda items are presented for discussion. Oh, they are. Tonight's council will vote on the agenda items discussed at last week's legislative work session. Items that will be voted on tonight have been discussed previously at the legislative work session. Therefore, unless you have new information to present, you do not need to reintroduce the same material that you presented last week, and will only accept brief comments on items for clarification. If the business you're here to discuss is not listed on the agenda item, there will be ample time to discuss your business under the agenda item comments from citizens and delegates. So before we start, I'd like to cover a few procedural items so that there won't be any misunderstandings about the meetings. I ask that you would keep your comments and your presentation on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this council members to make their decision. We will not accept comments that are considered personal attacks on any individual or group. Only one person speaking at a time. We ask that you would not cheer or applaud or be disruptive during the meeting. And if you have any electronic devices, a cell phone, iPads, and all of that, we ask that you would put them in silent mode or turn them off so that they will not be disruptive during the meeting. Regular items, agenda items will be handled as follows. The committee chairperson will read the item, make his or her motion before the vote. If the applicant has additional information, they'll come at that time. Then there will be citizen comments on points of interest that were not made at the work session. And you will state your name and address for the record. Ask the council, as you know, the council has adopted a new policy that represents the respective time, and the chairperson will go over that with you. But each person, including the applicant, gets only one opportunity to make comments. And we welcome you tonight, and if there are any other questions or any questions, we'll ask that you can ask at this time. Okay, not seeing any, we'll move on to the agenda. The first item on the agenda, I open the floor for minutes to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you. I have properly moved in second to approve the minutes as presented. Any questions or comments from the council members? I'm not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Open the floor for a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. It's been properly moved. Is there a second to approve the thank you. It's been properly moved and second to accept the consent agenda as presented. Are there any questions or comments as relates to the consent agenda? Council members. Thank you. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. The consent agenda is adopted as presented. We'll move on to the next committee, which is Public Safety Committee. That's chaired by Councilman Samuel Davis.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Community and Economic Development Committee, that's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight.
Thank you, sir. Planning and Development Committee, that's also chaired by Councilman Mark Adams.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have several items tonight. The first item under Planning and Development, item 22-17-25, hold a public hearing and consider a request for a special land use permit for a church or place of worship for property zone CG General Commercial District, being 1.75 acres at 5848 Bankhead Highway in land lot 824, District 18, Section 2, Parcel 1. Application was made by Turia Folks. I will open the public hearing, and I see that Ms. Folks is here in the audience. Ms. Folks, would you come forward, just in case there may be any additional information that you would like to provide to us? The the public hearing will be 30 minutes for, 30 minutes against, with any person speaking on or against, for or against, would have 5 minutes each. How are you this evening, ma'am? Would you give us your name and address for the record, please?
Good evening, Tari Folks. I'm Senior Leadership at Youthful Expressions Family Worship Center, 5848 Bankhead Highway, Suite F, Douglasville.
Thank you very much, Ms. Folks. Is there anyone that has any additional questions for Ms. Folks prior to us taking the matter to a vote? Is there anyone here to speak in support of this item? Anyone to speak against the item? Okay, I'll close the public hearing there. I understand that this is a renewal. So the motion that I will make for 2217-25 would be a motion for approval with this special land use permit. Could I ask when your lease expires, would there be a way that we could, Ms. Littlefield, to tie this to her lease expirations rather than having them come back every year?
If she knows the date.
Okay, do you have an idea when your lease expires, Ms. Folks?
It's next June.
Next June, so a year from now?
Yes.
Okay, then my motion then would be that for 2217-25, that we would approve the renewal of this special land use permit to run concurrent with the length of lease ending June 30th, 2018.
Yes.
Second.
You get it, City Clerk? Okay. Thank you. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 22-17-25, which is a special land use permit with the renewal being concurrent with the lease date of June of 2018. Are there any other, any questions or comments from the council members? Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving item 22-17-25 with the special stipulations as presented by the chair, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. 22-17-25 is adopted. Thank you so
Ms.
much.
Folks. Appreciate you coming in.
Have a good night.
Next, item B, 22-17-26. We're holding a public hearing. Consider a request for changing zoning from DCD, Design Concept Development District, with a base zone of R3, Single Family Detached Residential District, to amend the concept plan to reduce the rear yard setback requirement on the north side of the property a distance of 15 feet from the required 35 feet for a remaining rear setback requirement of 20 feet for a principal structure in an R3 base zone for 1.22 acres, land lot 77, District 1, Section 5, Parcel 102. Application by Justin Stockman and Aaron McCullough. I do not see either of those individuals here. If there's anyone else here, this being a public hearing, we'll do the same thing. We'll give the opportunity for anyone speaking for or against the item. Is there anyone here to speak for the item? If not, is there anyone here to speak against the item? Is there any comment of council?
Did we ever get a clarification on whether there was an HOA here or not?
I do not have any information, updated information as to HOA. Mr. Yakel would say that that would be an issue they would have to take up with them, since we have no control and are not involved with the HOA in any of the developments.
Yeah.
But I do not know the answer to that question, sir. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, hearing none, I make a motion we approve item 2217-26.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve 22-17-26. Is there a second? Second. Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 22-17-26. Are there any additional questions or comments as relates to this item from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving the item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. 22-17-26 is approved.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. One other item, item 2217-27. This refers to the same piece of property. Hold a public hearing and consider a request for a variance to reduce the 50-foot required minimum setback for regulated activities from the bank of a regulated stream in the Anawake Creek Watershed Protection Overlay District of Zoning Code subsection 3.22.04C 1E for a variance of 25 feet on the northeastern side of the property for a remaining required buffer of 25 feet. To allow construction of impervious surface not closer than 25 feet to the stream, to eliminate the 25-foot additional stream buffer requirement in zoning code subsection 3.85.02 for a variance of 25 feet, leaving no buffer required by this subsection, to allow impervious cover at the same location, and to reduce the additional 50-foot undisturbed natural vegetative stream buffer requirement of zoning code subsection 3.85.01 for a variance of 25 feet for a remaining buffer requirement of 25 feet to allow development activity on the south side of the property for 1.22 acres, land lot 77, District 1, Section 5, Parcel 102. Application signed by Justin Stockman and Aaron McCullough. Again, public hearing. I do not see the applicant with us. Is there anyone here that would speak in support of this application? If not, anyone that would want to speak against the application? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Is there anyone on council or mayor that would have a comment concerning it?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Just for clarification, I know we talked about this last week with the applicant, Mr. Stockman, about these requirements would bring that property in line with state requirements rather than the extra buffers that we had at the city.
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Those requirements from state would still stand. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else? Realize also that this was a combination of two lots that was brought before us a couple of months back. That we were combining two pieces of property within the Brookmont community in order to be able to use these for one home site. Okay? Hearing no other comment, I'll make a motion to approve 2217-27.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved to approve item 22-17-27. Are there any additional questions or comments from the council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving item 22-17-27, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. The ayes have it. Item 22-17-27 is adopted.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's all we have under planning and development tonight.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. We'll move on. Before we move on to Parks and Recreation, I want to commend our city clerk. And it's working so smoothly now with this automation. We appreciate it. Okay, Parks and Recreation Committee, that's chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have 3 items tonight under Parks and Recreation. Item A, item 23-17-15, to authorize the mayor to sign an agreement with CNC Construction Company, Inc. for the construction of the Pro Shop remodel project at West Pines Golf Club. We discussed this in committee last week. I'd like to make a motion to approve item -23-17-15.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I have a motion to approve 23-17-15. Is there a second? Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve 23-17-15. Are there any additional questions or comments from the council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving the item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. 23-17-15 is adopted.
Item B, under Parks and Recreation, is item 23-17-16, authorize the mayor to sign an agreement with Signet Golf Associates Inc. to construct the West Pines Golf Club greens resurfacing project. This was also discussed last week in committees, and I'd like to make a motion to approve item 23-17-16.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve 23-17-16. Is there a second? Thank you. 23-17-16 has been properly moved and second. Are there any questions or comments from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving the item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Item 23-17-16 is unanimously approved.
Item C, item 23-17-17, to authorize the mayor to sign a lease agreement with the Douglasville Tiger Cubs Football and Cheerleading Association, Inc. for the amount of $400 a month plus utilities. And I'd like to ask council how to include the issue with the back door in this.
It's not necessary to make it part of your motion. I understand that, and I will make that change.
Okay.
Okay, so item 23-17-17, we're making a motion to approve this item with the fee of $400 a month plus utilities. All those in favor of approving this item, please. Oh, I apologize. I have one motion to approve. Is there a second?
Did he actually make a
Did
motion?
you make the motion
I
to
heard him
approve?
read it, but I didn't
I
hear a
made a motion to approve item 23-17-17 for the amount of $400 a month plus utilities.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, for clearing
Second.
that. Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 23-17-17 for the Douglasville Tiger Cubs Football and Cheerleading Association for rental fee of the city's facilities for $400 a month plus utilities. Are there any additional questions or comments as relates to this item? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving item 23-17-17 with the agreements as stated by the chair, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Have one nay. So item 23-17-17 is approved. Is that all you have, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Madam Mayor, those were all the items we had tonight under Parks and Recreation.
Thank you so much. We'll move on to item 11 on the agenda, Finance Committee. That's chaired by Mayor Pro Tem Larry Yockey.
Yes, I have a couple of items.
Just a couple.
Just a couple.
How we're going to do this tonight is I'm going to say general fund budget, and Ms. Callen is going to give the amount of that particular fund. So go ahead, Karen, and introduce yourself.
Yes, Karen Callen, Finance Director, 6695 Church Street.
General fund budget amount.
$27,396,187.
I make a motion to approve item 24-17-15, adopt an ordinance approving the fiscal year 2017-2018 general fund budget.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-17-15. Are there any additional questions or comments from the council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving 24-17-15, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Item 24-17-15 is adopted.
Conference center budget.
$1,759,685.
I make a motion to approve item 24-17-16, adopt an ordinance approving the fiscal year 2017-2018 conference center fund budget.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-17-16. Are there any additional questions or comments from the council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving item 24-17-16, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Thank you. This item is adopted.
Conventions and Visitors Bureau fund budget.
$428,774.
I make a motion to approve item 24-17-17, adopt an ordinance approving the fiscal year 2017-2018 Convention and Visitor Bureau fund budget.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-17-17. Are there any additional questions or comments from the council members as it relates to the Convention and Visitors Bureau Fund? Thank you. Oh, I thought your hand was up, Mr. Davis. No. Okay, all of those in favor of approving item 24-17-17, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Thank you. The ayes have it. Item 24-17-17 is adopted.
Okay. My next item is confiscated asset fund.
That's $90,000 for the federal portion and $132,000 for the local portion.
I make a motion to approve item 24-17-18, adopt an ordinance approving the fiscal year 2017-2018 confiscated asset fund budget.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-17-18. Are there any additional questions or comments from council members as it relates to the confiscated asset fund budget? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving item 24-17-18, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Thank you. The ayes have it. Item 24-17-18 is adopted.
Sanitation fund budget.
$4,115,805.
I make a motion to approve item 24-17-19,
Second.
adopt an ordinance, approving the fiscal year 2017-2018 sanitation fund budget.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-17-19, which is sanitation fund budget. Are there any additional questions or comments as relates to this item? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving item 24-17-19, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. The ayes have it. 24-17-19 is adopted.
Multiple grant fund budget.
$2,943,805.
I make a motion to approve item 24-17-20, adopt an ordinance approving the fiscal year 2017-2018 multiple grant fund budget.
Second.
Second. Good. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-17-20, which is a multiple grant fund budget. Are there any additional questions or comments as it relates to this item? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Thank you. Item 24-17-20 is adopted.
Rental car tax fund budget.
$165,000.
Make a motion to approve item number 24-17-21, adopt an ordinance, adopt an ordinance approving the fiscal year 2017-2018 rental car tax fund budget.
Second.
You don't rent very many cars.
I
That's
don't.
what I was saying. Okay. Thank you. It's been properly moved and second by Councilman Siegel to approve item 24-17-21. Are there any additional questions or comments as relates to this item? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving item 24-17-21, the rental car tax fund budget, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Ayes have it. Item 24-17-21 is adopted.
SPLOST fund budget.
$10,859,275.
I make a motion to approve item 24-17-22, adopt an ordinance approving the fiscal year 2017-2018 SPLOST fund budget.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to adopt item 24-17-22. Are there any additional questions or comments from council members as relates to the SPLOST fund budget? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. The ayes have it. Item 24-17-22 is adopted.
Capital Road fund budget.
$316,000.
I make a motion to approve item 24-17-23, adopt an ordinance approving the fiscal year 2017-2018 Capital Road fund budget.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-17-23, the capital fund, road fund budget. Are there any additional questions or comments from the council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving item 24-17-23, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. The ayes have it. Item 24-17-23 is adopted.
Public Safety Department Service, no, it's debt. Public Safety Debt Service Fund budget.
$1,591,500.
I make a motion to approve item 24-17-24, adopt an ordinance approving the fiscal year 2017-28 Public Safety Debt Service Fund budget.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-17-24, the Public Safety Debt Service Fund budget. Are there any additional questions or comments as it relates to this item from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving item 24-17-24, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. The ayes have it. Item 24-17-24 is adopted.
Item Conference Center Construction Fund budget.
$165,000.
I make a motion to approve item 24-17-25, adopt an ordinance approving the fiscal year 2017-2018 Conference Center Construction Fund budget.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-17-25, the Conference Center Construction Fund budget. Are there any additional questions or comments on this item? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving 24-17-25, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Thank you. 24-17-25 is adopted.
Public Purpose Corporation Fund budget.
$543,394.
I make a motion to approve item 24-17-26, adopt an ordinance approving the fiscal year 2017-2018 Public Purpose Corporation Fund budget.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-17-26, the Public Purpose Corporation Fund budget. Are there any additional questions or comments as relates to this item? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving item 24-17-26, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Item 24-17-26 is adopted.
Okay. 5-year capital improvement plan.
The total of these four funds, SPLOSH, General Fund, Sanitation, and Conference Center, projecting out over the next 5 years, and this number will possibly change. This is just a projection. This is not as solid as these budgets that you're initially adopting, but these total is $24,186,687.
I make a motion to approve item 24-17-27, adopt an ordinance approving the 5-year capital improvement plan.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-17-27, the 5-year capital improvement plan. Are there any additional questions or comments as it relates to this item from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving item 24-17-27, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Thank you. The ayes have it. Item 24-17-27 is adopted.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
May
sir.
I make a comment before you hand this back?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to thank our finance director, our city manager, all of the department heads, and this elected body who have worked so much effort, so much time, so much thought that went into these budgets. And there are quite a few, and you got to keep them all straight. So good job. Appreciate you. Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
And I think that
Great
comes,
job.
I think that comes from all of us for the hard work that the staff has put together and done for us here. And thank you for your participation tonight and for all of the hard work that you've put into this.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you.
And that's all I have for the finance department.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. We'll move on to Information and Technology Committee. That's chaired by Councilman Richard Siegel.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight.
Thank you, sir. Maintenance and Sanitation Committee. That's chaired by Councilman Mike Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight.
Really? Okay. Thank you. Transportation Committee, chaired by Councilmember LaShawn Danley.
No items under this meeting, Madam Mayor, but we'll go back under committee.
Yes, ma'am. Recess back into committee. Personal and Organization Committee. That's chaired by Councilman Richard Siegel.
You know what, Madam Mayor? We don't have any business here either. Thank you.
Okay. We had enough under Finance. Ordinances and Intergovernmental Committee. That's chaired by Councilman Mike Miller. You have anything?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under ordinances and governmental committee either.
Thank you, sir. Education and Training Committee, Councilman Davis, outside of GMA, that's coming up. Thank you so much, sir. Is there any other business to come before Mayor and Council from council members? Thank you. We're not seeing any. We'll go on to reports. Our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Chief Assistant City Attorney, Ms. Susan Littlefeld.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Chief of Police, Chief Sparks.
Yes, ma'am. The police department will be having a health fair and information fair at our location, satellite location, 8304 Hollis Street, this Saturday from 10 to 1. We have Welfare Douglas will be out giving blood pressure checks and giving information on other medical issues. And we'll have Mr. Tim Pruitt there as well, giving information about the GED program and transportation issues, and police department will be there giving out information as well. So we're gonna have some pizza, first come, first serve. You know, we might have about 2 pieces, so you better get there early. But yeah, we'll have a little refreshments there. So that's this Saturday from 10 to 1 p.m., 8304 Hollis Street.
Thank you so much, Chief. That's going to be a lot to cover in that little bit of time. You have it power packed. We want to thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your community policing. We appreciate everything that you and the police department, what you do every day for us, protecting us and committing to educate the community. Last Tuesday, you had a great, if you don't mind giving us a report on your community meeting that you had there at the Hollis Street satellite location. I know the district attorney was there, 2 of our council members, and then afterwards there was a community meeting for NAACP, so you opened the house up to the community.
Yes, ma'am. This an ongoing part of our Douglasville community outreach program is to have programs over at that location to educate the citizen over there. And we had several questions that our maintenance person, Greg Roberts, was able to answer, and we had some questions about the park. So, you know, the people were engaging. So, and we're going to look at trying to do some beautification over there in that area with the help of the community and the faith-based community in that area. So, that's just part of our work to bridge the gap, so to speak, between the police department and the community, and you know, we lead the way.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much, Chief, again, and we are still in prayer for you and extend our condolences to you and your family in the loss of Mr. Harry Sparks, a longtime board member to our planning and zoning board. He was over 20 years. We've lost count, but he will sorely be missed, and we appreciate his service and continue to lift your family up as we remember you during this time of bereavement. Okay, we'll move on. City Manager.
Yes, ma'am. Just under staff reports, I'd ask Travis Landrum to come up to make some announcements regarding his department. Food Truck Mondays is going on until 9 p.m., so I will try to get you all out before 9 p.m., and hopefully the weather will spare, so if you're hungry. Councilman Davis, are we still having Wednesday wind down on Wednesday?
Travis and I are going to look again tomorrow and make a decision, and that's for Wednesday, Food Truck Wednesday and Wednesday wind down.
All right, and we also have tomorrow at 6 p.m. at Hudson's Hickory House, Ward 2, council members Adams and Miller will be having their town hall meeting, so we invite everyone to come up and just to thank the staff, including Travis's staff, the police department, Greg's staff, and Councilman Davis and Ms. Danley, and all those who were involved in Juneteenth. And I know we had a great banquet on that Friday, as well as a warm festival on Saturday, so it was pretty warm, but I think everybody enjoyed themselves.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Travis Landrum, 8830 Gurley Road, Douglasville, Georgia, 30134. It is an honor to come before you and announce that the Parks and Recreation Department has been recognized by the Douglas County Sentinel 2017 Reader Choice winners. For 3 years consecutive prior, we've been awarded the best park out at Hunter Memorial Park, and also for best golf course, which also has been recognized 3 years prior for the best golf course. So
Great.
definitely wanted to bring that information to you to acknowledge the hard work that our staff and team are doing out there, and thank you to the Douglas County Sentinel for that recognition. Also coming up, we have a few events. We want to highlight our Georgia Fishing Derby, scheduled for this Saturday, the 24th. It goes from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This ranges from ages 4-year-olds all the way up to 18. An opportunity for any future anglers out in the city to come out and test their skills, and there'll be awards. They'll have they'll weigh the fish and see who wins. Well, size of the fish, I'm sorry. But that registration is still open online, and then of course they can do on-site registration as well. So any of those interested in coming out to that, please come out to see us this coming weekend. July 1st, we'll have our annual horseshoe tournament over at Jesse Davis Park. The start time for this is 10 a.m. There's open registration online as well. And then of course they'll do on-site registration. If you got that horseshoe and got that little pitch on you, come on out and show us your skills, and let us see what you got at Jesse Davis. And lastly, I didn't get to mention it for the first session, but we wanted to highlight the junior golf camp. The second session kicks off June 27th through the 30th. It will take place from roughly 9 a.m. to 12 noon. This is for ages 7 to 13 years old, and the cost is $125 per child. Lunch is included with this camp. So just wanted to highlight these programs going on in the Parks and Recreation Department, and look forward to bringing more news to you in the future.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Landrum. You have been steering the ship, so we appreciate you coming on. We're excited for all the things that we're doing in the park system. Okay, we'll move on to comments from citizens and delegates. The floor is open now for anyone who survived, and you may want to come to the podium and address the mayor and council. We'd love to hear from you. If you are inclined to do that, please give your name and address for the record, and the floor is yours. Okay, just have some observers tonight. Well, thank you so much. Staff reports.
Only that it's hard for us to concentrate because Councilwoman Burdanley's grandbaby just arrived.
I know, we have to see. Okay. We'll move on from there. We do have executive session, so after this meeting, we're going to adjourn into executive session to discuss a litigation, property acquisition, and personnel matters, and after that, we will go back into committee meetings because we did not have an opportunity to complete all of our committees from 5 o'clock meeting. So open the floor for a motion.
I make a motion that we adjourn into executive session to discuss litigation, property acquisition, and personnel matters.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to adjourn into executive session to discuss litigation, property acquisition, and personnel matters. Are there any questions or comments as relates to this executive session meeting from council members? Thank you. Not hearing any, we're adjourned into executive session.